Hello, Di here. Here's a little brown journal that I made not long ago with a cereal box, and that's what we're duplicating here today. First of all, you pick the cereal box whose size suits you best. This is an all-bran one. Cut it apart, cut off any excess you don't want, measure from the edge of the spine out to the edges of the covers, cut it off, trim it up. There you can see the balls of brown paper that I've got that I'm going to be using on both the outside of the cover and the inside. You need the outside cover to have a good overlap all the way around so you can wrap the edges and give a bit more stability to the edges of the box. And the smaller piece is cut to fit the inside once the outside cover is on. Need plenty of glue. I'm just using PVA is very good. It seems to give some strength and good flexibility to the covers once they've dried. I don't use a very good one. I just buy a nice big, I think it's a litre bottle. I think it's aimed at school children. And it's not a bad price. You can lay it about you quite lavishly. There we are. I've just opened up the larger of the two pieces of brown paper and I'm laying the sticky gluey side down of the box down onto that and turning it over and smoothing it out as much as you can. You want it to stay a bit wrinkly, but you want it all to be adhered down, so it needs to have good contact with the surface of the cereal box underneath. You see there, I'm just adding a little bit more glue to the corners. It's really important that they are adhered down quite nicely.
So scrub them, spike them, and then you
turn it over, and we can start
5 minutes
with the corners.
Microwave for about 5 minutes. Just to
usually fold all the corners in, and then do the sides, then the ends to finish off. Though I do order things around a little bit, I think, this time. Those of you who are familiar with covering chipboard covers, normally you would trim that excess off across the corners so that you don't have too much and just fold it. But in this instance, it's better to have the additional layers to give it a bit more strength, especially on the corners. The composition of the box is not all that strong, so just a couple of extra layers give it a little bit more oomph and robustness when it's finished. Now I didn't in any way think this up for myself. I do very little original thinking. I watch a lot of videos from all sorts of clever people on YouTube. Lots of people do some really great things, but the person that I saw demonstrating this type of method was Genevieve, and I'll put her link in the description box. She does some amazing things, does a lot of recycling, very artistic, just brilliant. I really admire her work. She's funny to listen to, so she's well worth a listen. But that's where I sort of first saw the thought of using cereal boxes and stitching in some signatures to make junk journals or albums. And I've made several, and I just love the slightly leathery feel that the brown paper and glue on the cereal box gather after you've applied all the layers and let them dry and coloured them up. Here we go, we've got all the corners done, and now we're just working on getting the sides. You can see that's where I did the end first and then realised I don't normally do that. I normally do the side first, so we'll leave that end. It's still quite cool here. It's middle of end of the winter, beginning of spring. We often get some of our worst and coldest weather in September, October, so the glue's not going to dry too fast for me. but if it's hot I would only do one little section at a time. Have to be a little bit careful with this paper, it's quite frail. Once it's on, it's tough as old boots, but getting it there, you just have to work it gently so as not to tear it. Gradually work your way around the cover. Just using my little roller there, that's an excellent tool. It pushes the edges up away from the edge of the cereal box. And make sure everything's adhering well, squishing down onto the two surfaces. So the roller's a good tool. It does tend to roll out the creases and crumples out of the brown paper that you put there specifically for texture, but once you start applying the ink, you find they're all visible anyway. So you don't really lose them, they just show up at a later date. Sorry about the glare there, that's an old piece of cardboard out of an electric blanket packaging, and I thought it'd just protect my worktop from the glue, but I didn't realise it was so reflective until I saw the video. Just rolling it out, making sure that adherence is good. You can go in and put the smaller piece that just covers up all the corners and edges. Put that on the inside. I generally leave this at least overnight, up to 24 hours to dry. Let it dry properly at this stage, and everything else usually works well. Don't forget to come back and look for the next part of this sequence. The next part will be finishing off the cover and colouring it with the inks. Then I think I'll do one on how to sew in the signatures. So really, everyone else has done wonderful videos on that, and I probably don't need to, but I'll see how I go because I'm a bit clumsy with it still. And after that, a little bit of embellishing. I'm not going to do too much embellishing because I've got an idea that I'll use this journal for my son and his partner who will be visiting us for Christmas, and they'll be here for 3 weeks. Haven's never been in Tasmania before, so they'll be tootling around and looking at things. My son, who's lived all his young life here, believes there's nothing to see and nothing to do here, but I'm sure they'll find plenty. I thought this might be good for them to do some journaling, put in some photos, that sort of thing. There we go, that's just about got it finished. We're just rolling it down, making it as smooth as possible. It's really important not to bend it up at this stage. Leave it absolutely flat, or bend it up once it starts to cool down. Once it's dry. Otherwise it just pulls the layers off. Well, that's about it. Bye. Thanks for watching.